There are various treats that you can give to your budgies. The most important thing to notice is which of these treats you give is your budgie's favorite. Of course, don't reduce the options to just one. Try giving your bird more different treats so that the bird can absorb more nutrients that are useful for its healthy functioning. After all, the most important thing is that your bird is happy and satisfied. What can I give my budgie for a treat? Treats are the best way to express pleasure to birds because of their well-learned behavior. After all, it is very important to have treats in your home if you have a pet, whether to make them happy or to teach them some new skill and then reward them with a treat. However, budgies are very picky birds, so they may refuse the treat you intended to give them. Owners can struggle to find out what their budgie's favorite treat is. You will learn this best by giving your bird a variety of options, of which you will notice which treat your bird likes to consume the most. Budgies love treats that have a distinctive color, shape, and texture, like fruits and vegetables. Desserts can be made from seeds, dried fruits, eggs, and the like. Seeds like oats or cuttlefish bone will activate your budgie, and in addition to making him happy, they will provide him with all the essential nutrients that are essential to take in during the week. In order for your budgie not to get overwhelmed with these sweets and decide not to eat healthy food, you must give the sweets once or twice a week. Fruit is the best possible treatment for your bird because it will provide it with a sufficient amount of vitamins that need to be taken. It is very important that you do not overdo it, so follow the advice to give fruit once or twice a week. The most common are apples, bananas, strawberries, melons, pineapples, grapes, etc. If the fruit has a pit, remove it so as not to endanger the budgie. Vegetables contain a lot of minerals and vitamins that will contribute to the health of your bird. If you give the bird vegetables, it would be better if you made a mix of vegetables and served her a salad with lots of healthy nutrients. The most common are carrots, zucchini, broccoli, spinach, etc. If you didn't know, budgies are omnivores, but they only eat meat in nature in the form of insects, because they have only enzymes for them to digest. So don't give your budgie meat. The only animal products that they use are eggs, but of course, well cooked. Favorite treats? Budgies, like humans, choose food. Only these birds are even pickier. When choosing their food, it is important to include smell, texture, color, and taste. Budgies don't like seemingly ugly food that is also tasteless. They also like foods of light color and are slightly rougher texture with a strong taste that is a little crunchy. Budgie treats for training. Using treats while training your bird will certainly help in this process of learning skills. It's the same with pets as it is with children. If you want them to progress and continue their activities, you need to reward them in the meantime to motivate them to continue to persevere in their intentions. You can do this with birds easily by praising them and making them happy with a treat after a well-completed training. This will make them happy and motivate them to be more productive and better in the learning process each time. They are usually given raisins, cranberries, and similar dried fruits as treats, followed by dandelion leaves, grass seeds, or millet. For example, millet is very cheap to buy and birds simply love it. After all, it is very economical because it is composed of very small grains, which birds need a lot of time to finish. It is better to buy millet that is darker because it contains a lot more antioxidants and fats. The best millet is the red one because it has a fairly firm shell that the birds open more slowly, which is great so that the birds do not consume too much of the treat. Budgie Treats Recipe. You can really choose the ingredients you want depending on what your bird likes. Can budgies eat honey? Budgies can consume honey, but of course not in excessive amounts. It is also important to give honey as rarely as possible, but honey can be a great source of energy and an activator for your bird, of course in normal amounts. Usually, honey is used in case of emergency when your bird is weak or lacks energy. You really have to be careful in the process of choosing food for your budgie. There are several types of food that are harmful to this species of bird, and some can be very toxic, while some can only be less healthy. Cherry and peach pits contain a lot of cyanide, which can be lethal for your bird. There are lots of foods that should really be avoided in the diet when it comes to budgies. And these are avocados, apple grains, citrus, meat, mushrooms, green tomatoes, onions, garlic, milk and dairy products, uncooked potatoes, excessive concentrations of sugar and salt. Don't give meat to your budgies. Yes, they are omnivores, but they don't have enzymes that can digest nutrients from meat. They only eat insects in nature. Nutrition is very important because it is the key to health. Therefore, you try to give the birds as much healthy food as possible in order to provide them with a healthy life and all the essential nutrients that are needed for them to function normally and perform all additional life activities.
What is the food you shouldn't give to your budgie?
Wild birds feed in flocks of hundreds to even thousands in the wild because they are social eaters. Just as wild birds, pet birds, such as Budgerigars, like to share mealtime with their flockmates. Either other birds in the house or their human caretakers. Humans love some food, and there is every tendency of offering it to their pets. Some of this food should never be offered to Budgerigar pets because of potential toxicity. Persin is one of the components of avocado leaves. It is a fatty acid-like substance that kills fungus in the plant. This substance may cause heart damage, respiratory difficulty, weakness, and even sudden death when ingested by the Budgerigar. Some bird species can safely consume certain types of avocado. Vegetables are generally good for your Budgerigar pet, but never feed your pet with avocado. This is because it is hard to know which type of avocado will affect which species of Budgerigar. The amount of avocado your pet would have to consume before it will be affected is also unclear. It's best simply to avoid feeding avocado and avocado-containing foods such as guacamole, to your Budgerigar. Given the potential consequences, you should always give your Budgerigar carrots, pea pods, and some good vegetables instead of avocado. Caffeinated beverages such as coffee, tea, and soft drinks have a great taste, stimulate us, and wake us up. You shouldn't think about giving these tasty beverages to your pet Budgerigar because even a sip or two of these drinks can be toxic to our feathered companions. It can induce arrhythmias, increase heart rate and hyperactivity, and even cause cardiac arrest in the Budgerigar. You should opt for water or an occasional taste of fruit juice for your thirsty bird and make sure you avoid caffeinated products. Budgerigar pets have a hard time resisting chocolate or chocolate-containing foods. Chocolate can, however, be toxic to them, even in a very small amount. This is because it contains theobromine and caffeine. These constituents can cause vomiting and diarrhea, increase heart rate, resulting in hyperactivity, induce tremors and seizures, and even cause death in Budgerigar pets. Offer your pet a piece of sugary fruit like mango, papaya, or grape instead of chocolate the next time you are tempted to share a Hershey's Kiss with your budgie buddy. We usually add salt to all sorts of foods without thinking. When we consume too much salt, it isn't good for us, but it is also not good for our budgie pet, and even a little bit is potentially toxic to a Budgerigar pet. The electrolyte and fluid balance in your budgie's tiny body can be upset even by one salty chip or pretzel, leading to excessive thirst, dehydration, kidney failure, and death. Choose a bite of low-salt cracker the next time you want to offer your bird a salty treat. High-fat foods such as butter, oil, fatty meats, and nuts can result in a buildup of cholesterol deposits in the walls of our arteries, known as arteriosclerosis, predisposing to heart disease and stroke. Consuming this food excessively can lead to obesity and all the health problems that accompany this condition. Budgerigar pets are prone to developing high cholesterol and triglyceride levels and subsequent coronary artery disease when they consume these foods. Budgerigar should not be offered heaping quantities of these fat-filled items, especially if they are small relative to the portion size. Instead, your pet can have an occasional bite of lean and cooked meat. One walnut or a few slivers of almond every day for a medium-sized budgie is good. Fruits containing seeds, such as apples and pits, such as cherries, apricots, peaches, nectarines, and plums, should not be offered to your Budgerigar pet without removing the seeds and pits. This is because these seeds and pits contain small amounts of cardiac toxic cyanide compound. These fruits are completely safe for your pet to consume without the seeds and pits. You can feed your pet with the seeds from other produce such as berries and pumpkin. Just like other vegetables, many people expect that onions and garlic are healthy for their Budgerigar, but have heart benefits in man whether fed raw or cooked, but are toxic to Budgerigar pets and almost all species of birds, cats, and dogs. Onion can irritate the lining of your pet's mouth and crop, causing an ulcer. It can also induce rupture of red blood cells, resulting in anemia. Allicin is another chemical that is contained in garlic and can cause anemia and weakness in Budgerigar pets. With a small piece of vitamin A-rich hot pepper, you can spice up your budgie's life. This can be found in sugarless gum and many diet foods. It causes hypoglycemia, liver damage, and possible death in Budgerigars. Budgies have faster metabolism than many other species and might therefore be very sensitive to the toxic effects of even tiny amounts of this chemical. You'd be doing your budgie pet some good by avoiding xylitol altogether. Your pet should not be given chewing gum. This is because it can stick to the feathers, and if your pet is overweight, it should be fed with low-fat fruits and vegetables, rather than diet products containing xylitol to help lose weight. Xylitol should be avoided in your budgie's diet, even when it is a sweet option in your weight loss plan.
You are awesome. Thank you for watching and subscribing. See you in my next video.